Good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Clement, and the business I have to present to you tonight is SoulSync. So, when I was in 7th grade, I got introduced to Air Jordan shoes from friends in my middle school. And at that time, I was pretty unaware about the shoe game, as I now call it, and I was unsure of exactly, I got my first pair of Air Jordans in 7th grade, and at that point in time, I was really unsure of where that was going to take me. At that point, I was kind of just doing it to follow the trend of my friends, and I never really had an intent to start a business with it. So that first pair of shoes kind of ignited a spark in me to keep on buying shoes. And I started buying shoes on eBay. I would go on eBay, buy used shoes, clean them up, sell them, and then do a video review of them. And as I started buying more and more shoes, I was posting more videos on YouTube. And I began to create a crowd of followers. People were interested in my videos and they enjoyed watching them, and they started asking me questions and sending me messages about which shoes that I thought they should invest in and things like that. So I'm going to show you guys my YouTube page actually. I began this in, I want to say, 8th grade. I started my idea for a website in 8th grade. I think it's the internet, Carl. What is this? Oh, it's all around. So, my name at the time, I don't know why, what inspired this, but my name is Big Tom 3232, and that's how people in the shoe industry refer to me. And if you go on YouTube and search this, you can see here all my reviews that I've posted. And I have a channel. This is my homepage on YouTube where people come to see my new videos. And at the time I have 3,000 subscribers and 700,000 video views. So 700,000 people have came and physically watched a video of mine. Whether it's the same people or new people, I don't know, but I like to say that. And this, through YouTube, as I said, I've created a crowd of followers that people that listen to me and respect what I have to say in the shoe industry. And as I started doing more and more transactions on eBay and buying and selling more shoes, I began to realize that eBay was taking a large amount of my money. I would sell a pair of shoes for, say, $150, and they take almost 10%. They take 8.75% of every final sale value. So if I sold a pair of shoes for $150, I was losing, $10 to $15. And that added up when I was, buying and selling multiple pairs of shoes in a short amount of time. So I had the intent to create a website. I was in Ms. Peterson's webpage design class, and with her knowledge and expertise, I learned how to create web pages. And I also got a friend that helped me out on it, and we constructed SoulSync, which is my website. And at the time that I had the idea to create a website, I was pretty inexperienced. I guess you could say the word is, and I was unsure of exactly how challenging it was to construct the ideal website. On my website, I envisioned a marketplace similar to eBay where people could go on and buy and sell shoes and look at auctions where, it could be an auction to buy now, similar to eBay. But I also wanted to include the other aspects of the shoe industry, such as YouTube, where you can view people's collections and, you can see videos of shoe releases at the local mall and all that. So I envisioned a website with a forum, which is pretty much a place for people to talk and post things, a video community similar to YouTube, and then a marketplace. And all these options are, access to the site, or mainly the marketplace though, is capable of making money. From my marketplace, I would allow people to go on and put up an auction for a pair of shoes. And from that auction, I would take a much smaller value than eBay, maybe 1 to 2% you could say of a final sale. And if you do the numbers, which I have, there's, any given day on eBay, there's roughly 20 to 25,000 auctions for a pair of Air Jordan shoes, and that's just Air Jordans. If you do, any kind of sneaker, which is the focus of my site, would be open to all shoes. I hope I can take the incentive to have people transfer from eBay to my website using the crowd of people I've gained on YouTube and a lower cost, a lower fee for using my website. And I also want to incorporate a social media aspect, which, people could have a profile and an account where they would be allowed to post, people could have a wall and you could post and do transactions through their account. And similar to that, you could see their videos, somewhat like Facebook, but specialized for that, that person. And I can go to my website, show you guys it very soon. I have a website that I constructed, and at the time it's not exactly the most visually appealing site, and that's why I was hoping I could use this money to hire somebody. I know online you can pay people to physically construct a website for you, and I'm hoping with money I can, put towards that. But this is the current site I have up, and it still attracts a good amount of daily visitors. This is the forum that I have up. People are still on here talking right now, posting pictures, talking about any random thing, and this would be on my new site that I'm hoping to construct, as with a marketplace and a video gallery and the social media aspect. So I expect I've done some research about hiring somebody to construct a website for me, and out of all the people I've contacted and websites I've visited, the average price I assume would be $2,500 to $500. And that is, it really depends on how high of a quality of website you want to produce. Obviously, the more money you invest, the nicer website they can make. And using my numbers, I said that if I can get just, with my initial crowd of people that I have that follow and listen to me, if I can tell them to visit my website and try to start, using the auctions, I hope that within the first couple months I could probably get about 500 daily auctions up in the marketplace. And from that, I say if, on average, the pair of shoes is selling for $100, I take 1 to 2%, that could be as much as $500 in daily profit. And that isn't including possible advertising that I could do on my site for shoe companies and other things in the shoe industry. And I mean, that number is obviously always capable of growing too. I know I estimate that there's probably, just in Air Jordans and collectible Nikes, there's probably 200,000 people on the internet that daily go on there and look for new shoes and look for new articles and information regarding these shoes. And here is just a rough sketch. This is the kind of the layout I was hoping to achieve for my new site. And it's obviously a little bit more clean and professional looking than the one that's up right now. But I mean, this is really only possible with funding and the proper knowledge of what to put on the website. And yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions, let me know.